Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to Ace Attorney Investigations 2. Previously, the unthinkable happened. Despite Miles's best efforts, his best evidence, his diligence, he was caught unprepared. Blaise de Best, the head of the PIC, appeared out of nowhere and showed a bizarre new piece of evidence that completely destroyed Miles's entire argument. And so we had no choice but to submit and go to prison because indeed he was guilty of aiding and abetting a wanted criminal, Kay Faraday. And yeah, I guess now he's in the holding cell, the same one that Horace Knightley was killed in. A very clever reuse of assets, I must say. So who knows how this is going to go down. I'm thinking maybe Raymond Shields will defend him as an attorney. That would be pretty sweet. This is the second time I've been in this cell. All of my evidence has been taken from me. The only thing I have left is Kei's Yatagarasu's badge. Where did he hide that? Up his butt? You were thinking it. I'm worried about Kei. Is she alright? The culprit is me. I remember looking down at the person in the red raincoat. Mr. Edgeworth, it was me. The culprit was me all along. You have a visitor. Please hurry out. A visitor? Who could it be? Someone by the name of Dick Gumshoe. Will you turn him down? No. It will be hard to face him, though. Ah, man, good on Gumshoe for being the first one on the scene. Wait there. Man, it's weird to think about a protagonist in this game sitting on that side of the glass window. Man. He's not going to stay and keep watch. Pardon me? Is it... That's not Gumshoe. Yo. I'm thinking Courtney lied. Told the guard to say it was Gumshoe because Edgeworth would surely turn her down. Judge Courtney. Hush. Please have a seat. Why are you here? I was told a detective had come. If I didn't instruct them to tell you that, you wouldn't be sitting here right now. Well, bingo. I can't think of anything she'd need from me at this point. I should try to figure out what she wants. This is interesting. Present a badge. If it's about Kay Faraday, I believe she's being interrogated as we speak. You people, do you have any idea what you're doing? How dare you arrest an innocent person? That's not a very nice thing to say. I would ask that you correct your statement. She is merely someone you want to believe is innocent. Am I wrong? There's no decisive evidence to prove that she's the culprit. There is no evidence to prove her innocence either. Enough of this, it's pointless. The girl will be judged. There is nothing you can do to stop that. That's all there is to say about that. Now let's get to the real issue at hand. Fine. Your visitation rights have been restricted to begin with. It's as if I'm some monstrous criminal. I suppose my credibility has hit rock bottom. But of course, your friends have fared a little better though. That lawyer and that girl were both quite worked up. Mr. Shields and Emma. When I last saw them, they were giving one of the guards quite an earful. What? You don't mean...
Be grateful. The goddess of law has been quite busy. They were spared punishment.
It certainly seems like you have plenty of time for small talk.
Oh, yes. Prosecutor von Karma is presently continuing the investigation. You were worried about them, right?
I guess she saw right through me. Let's cut to the chase. Exactly what are you planning?
I am not planning anything. There is merely a question I wish to ask.
You're asking me?
Yes, of course. Who else is here? Objectively speaking, you are a clever individual and you have a sharp mind.
Okay, at least she admits it.
As a prosecutor, you are highly talented and capable.
Are you being ironic? Your sarcasm falls short.
I am being completely sincere, and that is why I cannot understand. Take this case, for example. You're up against the PIC. There is no chance for you to come out on top. Even a child could understand. And yet you...
Perhaps my younger self would not have done something so reckless. The me from before had power. That's why I thought justice was on my side. Just like you right now. However, because of a certain man, my self-centered sense of justice was broken down. Gee, I wonder who that could be. Ever since then, I began to see people in a different light. I am able to serve as a prosecutor only because of the support of the people around me. People like Detective Gumshoe, and all the other investigators, and Kay as well. Honestly, even I'm surprised at how much I have changed.
I see. Is that how it is? I've come to understand you a little more.
Understand me? Not likely. Someone like you, who forces her own sense of justice onto others, could never understand.
I wonder about that. Is that what you think? If I could say one thing, it would be that this conversation has been very interesting. That is all. Our conversation is coming to an end, however. I have one last thing to say to tell you. The date of your hearing has been set. I came here today to inform you. Today, in the PIC meeting room, may you humbly accept your fate.
If that's all you wanted to say, couldn't you have just sent a messenger?
The holy words of the Goddess of Law simply cannot be entrusted to others. With that, Mr. Edgeworth, I bid you farewell. I shall be seeing you again later.
Interesting. There are definitely signs that Courtney wants... Well, signs that... There's something going on in Courtney's head. I'm not sure what yet. But I feel like this is leaning towards her redemption, for lack of a better term. I feel like they're building up to something with her. There's a poster hanging in the hallway. The Dice and Slice game. Roll the dice and decide your daily menu. The Dice and Slice game has been cancelled due to the warden's arrest. We sincerely apologize to everyone who was looking forward to it. There's no need to apologize for canceling such a silly game. Toilet. There's a poster on the wall next to the toilet. We are currently out of toilet paper. Please be prepared if you wish to use the toilet. What does it mean by be prepared? What's this iron ball doing on the desk? Was there still a hole under the bed? It's a simple bed. I don't expect it to be very comfortable to sleep on. If it were Detective Gumshoe, he would probably snore loudly while sleeping like a log. I may never get a chance to work with him again. However, this is the path I chose. I won't regret it. There's a dining menu sitting on the desk. It seems I can get food delivered if I pay for it. Let's see. Moldy white bread lunch set. Switch to moldy whole wheat bread for an extra $1. Oatmeal and grits set meal. For limited time, get extra gruel at no additional cost. Thank goodness I'm not hungry right now. Another visitor. Oh. Kay and Blaze. Interesting.
Oh.
It seems you're all right. I'm relieved, for now. You know, this is kind of touching. You look a little down, Kay. Please, cheer up. You didn't do anything wrong, I guarantee it.
Please, just accept it. I am a murderer.
That's not true. I want you to believe in yourself.
What should I believe in? I mean, there's nothing.
There's nothing to believe in. That's not true. Before you lost your memories, you literally jumped into my life. As a result, your words and actions have become engraved in my memories. That's the mark you left behind. How can you call that nothing? I believe in your innocence. That's why you must believe in yourself as well.
Thank you. But it's no use. Look at all the misfortune I brought upon you. If you can, please forget it all. Your memories of Kay Faraday.
Talking about herself in the third person, like she doesn't even believe she's Kay. Oh, it's so sad. Kay? You know, this takes me back. In my youth, I too was a gallant. Is this the kind of justice that the PIC seeks? Justice, huh? I wonder. This man, what is he planning? Why is he pushing things forward so forcefully? It all seems too unnatural. Is there a hidden agenda? There's no time left. It's all or nothing now. Well then, I must take my leave. Hold it. Yo! You may not have evidence, but yeah, you don't need evidence for a chess match. Hey now. No matter how you look at it, Kay's arrest was unnatural. There must be something behind it. Hey, I'm a busy man, you know. I'm kind of a big deal, you see. I trust this won't take up too much of my time. In order to make it out of the situation, I must break through his defenses. There are plenty of things I want to ask, but my time is limited. First, I'll ask about why he rushed the arrest. I have no intention of letting him push me around. I will overcome this difficult situation. Time's gonna go fast. Kay is not the culprit. My, that's a rather bold claim, you know. Anyone can shout objections at the top of their lungs, you see, Mr. Former Prodigy Prosecutor. Okay. It's no use. I don't have enough information. The chance will come sooner or later, and when it does, I mustn't let it slip by. Yeah, I have a bad habit of trying to dodge around the direct question, but I haven't even begun a dialogue with this man. I need to ask the question first. Why did you rush your arrest? I would like a clear explanation. Explanation? What are you talking about? Don't play dumb with me. You clearly did not follow the proper procedures. Okay, maybe you should pipe down a bit. Do you even know the position you're in? Wait and see. Suppose we let the criminal escape. What do you think will happen? What will happen? I would be made to take responsibility, you see. I do hope you understand. And what of it? Haven't you realized it yet? Oh, I have you cornered. Nope. My, I wonder what you're getting so excited about. I sure can't understand the high spirits all you young folks seem to have. That was a wasted remark. I have no intention of letting him push me around. I will overcome this difficult situation. Okay, this time, maybe we'll wait and see twice. Now, I feel like it would serve you right. Just take my advice and stay out of this if you know what's good for you. I refuse. Kay is innocent. You know, this is so pitiful. Brings me to tears. Why won't you just give up? Things are finally going well. Things were going well. Things were going well, you say? That's a strange way to put it. It almost sounds as if you personally wanted Kay to be arrested. Far more than necessary. Haven't you lost your impartiality? You think so? That certainly wasn't my intention, you see. Edgeworth, my boy, you're reading too much into it. He skillfully avoided the issue. However, I still have some serious doubts about Kay's arrest. Next, I shall ask him if the investigation was sufficient. Wow, full healed. I have a lot of HP this time. I can't miss even the tiniest piece of information. That's the only way to break through this situation. Was that under your authority? It's hard to say that the investigation was sufficient. The arrest, was it under your authority? My, do I really look that important? The Prosecutorial Investigation Committee Chairman. It's quite a prominent title. Not that I care much for it. That was rather blunt. I'm so shocked I could cry. I'm sorry, flattery was never my forte. If you keep talking like that towards me, you'll never get your prosecutor's badge back, you know? Wait and see. Now, so you've grown silent? Does it mean I can go now? I was too passive. Okay. The rest was under your authority, but why? I don't need my badge. Let me make this clear right now. I do not live for the sake of my badge. Status means nothing to me. Do you understand? Young. So young. Let me teach you something as your senior in life. What you're saying right now, it's far too naive, you see. look in his eyes has changed. He might respond differently to some of my questions now. This is my chance. How much time was spent on the investigation? Well, aren't you an impertinent one? Even someone like me is starting to get annoyed. What a coincidence. I feel the same way. Answer me, was the investigation sufficient? Young folks always live life in the fast lane, that's why I like to bully them. You'll regret this soon enough. How do you bully someone? Haven't you realized it yet? I have you. Oh. Well. Maybe we should let him talk there and let him bully me. Okay, how long did you investigate? And then... wait and see. Oh, come on. Wait, maybe I did get this right. Don't you get it? I hold your fate in my hands. Wait, did I actually get that right? Oh. Huh. When did you get your hands on it? Haven't you... oh, son of a... So I actually did get it right, huh? Huh. Okay, how long did you investigate? This guy is so cagey, it's very hard to read. I don't care about fate. Oh, son of a... so I need to wait... oh... This sucks. I'm bad at this. I feel bad. Well, we'll just skip ahead. Wait and see. Finally, wait and see. In any case, even if you obtain some information, there is nothing you can do. Just give up already. I refuse. Mind if I ask why? It's simple. The truth is fading away. That's all there is to it. I see. I'm starting to understand what kind of person you are. But you know, it's all useless. It's enough to make me cry. Give it up. That girl's guilt has already been decided. Decided? That's strange. The way you said that, it almost sounds like it was decided from the very beginning. What are you trying to say? Her arrest was planned. Yes, it's clearly unnatural. Everything is progressing as if Kay's guilt was predetermined. Wasn't Kay's arrest planned from the start? I see. That's an interesting theory. But I don't have time to indulge in your flights of fancy, you know? Why don't we put an end to this silly conversation? Curse is trying to get away. Before that, I must find out if the arrest was lawful. Okay, music went into double time. I think that's a sign. It's still very faint, but I'm beginning to see the path to the truth. I can't let this opportunity slip by. I still have more to ask you. Please, wait, there is still something I want to ask you. I've grown weary of our little tete-a-tete. Tete-a-tete? Is that how you pronounce that? Please keep it short, okay? Who made the decision? Who was the one who made the decision to arrest her? Well, I can't say I remember. Growing old is a terrible thing, you see. My memory's not what it used to be, you know. I don't have enough clues to proceed with this line of questioning. Maybe I should try another line of attack. I still have more to ask you, and then... what's the basis? If I put together what you have told me up until now, I cannot help but say that there is no basis for Kay's arrest. Yes, I understand, you see. But you know, it doesn't really matter either way. You can't overturn her arrest. How irresponsible. Do you still claim to be a man of the law? My, those are some harsh words, you know. You know, you're starting to make me a little angry. Wait and see. You see, to be honest, I really can't answer all of your questions, you know. That's just the position I'm in, you see. I'm a busy man, you know. Aren't you just pretending to be busy? That's cruel, you know. This old chunk of coal has been working like a dog. Pretending, just what do you think that would accomplish? You don't want to talk about it, do you? You don't want to talk about the case. Isn't that why you're trying to get away from this place? Like, shoot man, he's just behind bars, just walk away. How sad, yes, how sad indeed. Do you really suspect little old me? I do suspect you, and I'm confident about it. There was clearly no basis for Kay's arrest. My, have you forgotten? Wasn't there evidence? The mask, the letter, and the corsage all were found in the girl's possessions. Not to mention, she even confessed. All of this serves to prove her crime. That's... Any objections? Wait and see. You see, you have no response. It's true, I have no objections, although there is one point that bothers me. This man seems awfully familiar with the evidence. Yeah, how did he know about all that stuff that was in Kay's possession? And then that was given to Miles by Karen. That is weird. To remember everything without missing a beat, that intrigues me. This could be a useful clue. Okay, I still have more to ask of you. And this time, what's the basis for your arrest? Oh. I've run this line of questioning to its conclusion. Let's try another line of attack. Okay, I did another thing. Okay. Who made the decision? Who was the one who made the decision to arrest her? Well, I can't say I remember. Growing old is a terrible thing, you see. My memory's not what it used to be, you know. Perhaps I should use that clue. You remembered all the evidence. Don't play dumb with me. Didn't you remember all of the evidence in full detail just now? Stop pretending to be a forgetful old man when things aren't going your way. Now then, who was the one who made the decision to arrest her? I see, you're a sharp one, aren't you? You know, I wish my son could learn from you. Because he's a real idiot. I'm not interested in your son. Who made the decision for the arrest? You're a bad man, you know. Don't you already know? The one who ordered her arrest. Wait and see, he's about to say. Oh. Well, crap. I thought he was about to say it himself, but... Who made the decision? I'm running low on HP here. I'm getting nervous. You remembered all the evidence? I want to say it was him. The person right in front of me. I'm certain of it. Ouch. You make it sound like I committed some kind of injustice. Guess I'll have to clear that up. My honor is at stake here, you see. Very well, I'll continue to play along with you until you are satisfied. What is most crucial here is how much this man knows about this case. If I can get him to reveal that. Full heal. That is damn nice. It's do or die. If I can overcome this, I'll reach the truth. You seem to know quite a bit. You seem pretty familiar with the case. I'm a wise man, you know. I'm familiar with most things, you see. I don't think it was very wise of you to arrest Kay in this case. Okay, seriously, how many pieces of paper... Why don't you say something? Oh, how many pieces of paper is he actually carrying around? You know, I think him burning something is a sign that I should just let him speak. He's about to say something. Okay, you seem to know quite a bit. Then... wait and see. I'm a very busy man. I can end this conversation anytime I want, you know. Don't you forget about that. This would have already been over if you had simply answered my questions. If you give me a proper answer, I won't take any more of your time. I will ask you once again, why are you so familiar with this case? I read the case files, you see. Honestly, it was quite a drag, you know, but it's my job, so what could I do? Because of my position, you see, I can't just skip out on it. Well, I had some time to kill, so I read the whole thing, you see. You just said you were busy. That's strange. Didn't you just say you were very busy? Aren't your faults slowly coming to light now? If you truly wish to protect your position, I would advise you to rescind the arrest order. You really are desperate, you know? That never say die attitude, it touches my heart. But you know, it's unfortunate that all your hard work is for naught. Because we discovered her unconscious body near the crime scene, you see. Huh? This is the first I've heard of Kay's condition when she was found. She was unconscious in the storeroom. That's right. The source of that information is classified, though. This man knows things even I don't know. Does he know the whole story behind this case? This could be a useful clue. About Kay. The suspect. Regarding Kay, how much do you know about her? She's a suspect in this case. That's all I know, you see. Scout's honor. Perhaps I should use that clue. Something you've said feels out of place. You know about things that the crime scene investigation never revealed. Why is that? Just how much of the truth do you know? You're making that forceful face again. You know, it kind of makes me want to do the same. Like this. Wait and see. You really are a persistent one, you know, but I can admire that, you see. I will take that as a compliment. Can't you give it a rest already? At my age, my body's not as strong as it once was, you know. There's no one else who could be the culprit besides her. She was even given that much evidence to show that she committed the crime. She was given? She was given evidence, you say? That's an odd choice of words. It almost sounds as if she did not possess them under her own will. You know, the more he talks, the more I think this guy's just an idiot. He's literally just being run around in circles by a man in a cell and revealing everything. I see. You really do have a fine eye for the details, as expected of a former prodigy prosecutor. You've already found your answer, haven't you? I'm listening, so go ahead and say it. There's no need to hold back. Finally wrenched open the heavy door to the truth. Careful, that'll cost you an arm and a leg. Now, all that remains is to strike the final blow. Kay is not the culprit. My, that's a rather bold claim, you know. Anyone can shout objections at the top of their lungs, you see, Mr. Former Prodigy Prosecutor. I shall break through this with that clue. Kay was framed. The true culprit is pinning the blame on her. That is my answer. Ooh. His beard caught on fire. He put it out with his tears. That's pretty cute. Yes, you're a clever one. It almost makes me feel bad that your prosecutor's badge was taken away, you know? Yes, it's as you say. Checkmate. Logic chess complete. You arrested Kay even when you knew of the existence of the true culprit. Don't toy with me. There is no way such an act would be tolerated. You sure are green, you know. That's what a prosecutor is supposed to do. It will all work out fine if we make her guilty. Who would desire such a resolution? If I had to say, maybe the PIC and also maybe me, you know. When I heard your words just now, I could barely hold back my tears, you know. It was just so splendid, you see. It burns me up inside. I'm not the most perfect piece of work, you know, so I can't forgive such youthfulness. You say the truth is important, but, you know, once you know the real value the truth holds, I wonder if you can still say the same thing. What are you trying to say? When you get to where I am, you can just create your own truths anytime you want. Kay Faraday is the culprit. That was the truth that I simply manufactured out of thin air. Good, very good. That face, that expression. You were such a desperate one, you see. That's why I really wanted to bully you, you know. You see, even if you know the truth, there is simply nothing you can do. And that's the real value of truth. So shocking that it's to die for, you know. Why won't you pursue the true culprit? How much of the truth do you know? Do you understand now? The truth that you believe in is worthless, you see. Do you understand what I'm trying to tell you, powerless former prosecutor? You... Oh, scary, scary. You know, I guess the friends of a heinous criminal are also quite heinous themselves. Blaze, you... And like this, you see, one more person will disappear before me. Oh, here comes the waterworks. These tears of mine just won't stop, you know. Wait, hold on. Rewind. Disappear. Is he gonna have Miles killed? Everything will be decided in today's deliberation. Kay's innocence. I will definitely prove it. So how many chairs is that? On screen there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think there's a 10th and 11th chair on the sides of the screen just out of view. So 11 people on the black market auction, 11 members of the PIC. And indeed, that empty chair probably belonged to Jill Crane. Ooh. 10 members are present. The quorum has been met. From here on out, let the council begin. Today's deliberation shall be about Miles Edgeworth's aptitude and ability as a prosecutor. Let our members discuss this matter with a clear conscience of the goddess of law. A clear conscience? Don't make me laugh. Courtney, please give us your report.
On April 5th, Prosecutor Edgeworth carried out an illegal investigation and resisted arrest. He was arrested by 2 of our members who caught him in the act, myself and Blaze DeBest. Prosecutor Edgeworth disrupted the investigation of attorney Jill Crane's murder.
Yeah, wait. Attorney? Yeah, no, she was definitely part of the forum, that's right.
He claims that the culprit, Kay Faraday, was arrested without sufficient evidence. Even now, his claim remains unchanged.
Tell us more about the murder incident.
On April 5th, the victim's body was found here, in the PIC meeting room. Regarding the details,
I, Sebastian DeBest, the best prosecutor, will enlighten you.
The prosecutor in charge, Sebastian DeBest, will explain the rest of the details.
The murder happened on the night of April 4th. The victim was one Jill Crane. On the same night, a black market auction was being held in this very meeting room. I guess Miss Crane was taking part in the auction. Yup. The murder occurred... Oh.
The murder occurred in the middle of the auction, did it not?
When Miss Crane was found, she was dressed like the conductor of the auction. However, based on the fact that the auction continued after the murder occurred, I deduced that Miss Crane could not have been the conductor. You weren't the one who made that deduction.
Sebastian, please show everyone the basis for the arrest of the culprit.
You got it, Justine. Kay Faraday was unable to bear the weight of her good conscience.
I believe you mean her guilty conscience.
Yes, it was her guilty conscience that drove her to confess the crime. According to her confession, on the roof of this building, she met a figure in a red raincoat on the viewing platform. So Crane was wearing a red raincoat.
Yes, that's correct. The culprit used the conductor's clothes as a red herring to mislead us. At the time of the murder, Miss Crane was wearing a red raincoat.
It was I who discovered the raincoat near this building.
He did. I'm sure it was the forensics team who found it. To be more precise, it was the forensics team under Sebastian's orders who discovered it. I thought as much.
According to the blood analysis, the person in the red raincoat and Miss Crane were the same person. The decisive evidence is the culprit's own confession. She testified that she killed her. That's right, the culprit is Kay Faraday. It couldn't have been anyone else but her. Well then, Edgeworth, if you have any objections, let's hear them.
I have no objections.
I see. It seems all the fight's gone out of you after your little...
I have no objections to your claim that I investigated illegally. I admit to that. However, I object to the claim that Kay is the culprit. I will testify that Sebastian's investigation was fair and just.
Of course it was, Justine. Don't you know that I'm the fairest of them all? Edgeworth, my boy, despite how things may seem, I actually kinda like you. If, and this is just an if, you see, if you were to withdraw your objection, you might be sitting on this side of the bench tomorrow. I'll ask you one more time, Edgeworth. Do you have any objections?
Don't take me for a fool. I'd advise you to watch what you say. This man is the one who should watch what he's saying. I'm talking about the case, not about a chair. I demand a testimony. By all means, let me hear it. I want to know how the PIC understands this case.
A testimony from us, eh? Fine then, if that's what it takes to make you happy. Courtney, give him the materials from the investigation.
Sir? But that's...
It's the end of the line for him. I'll let him go out in a blaze of glory. Hey, he said it.
If you insist, Mr. Chairman.
Received evidence from Judge Courtney. Why don't we have Courtney give the testimony?
I have no objections. Mr. Edgeworth? Don't worry, Kay. You just watch from over there.
This feels like a classic traditional Ace Attorney court. In all but name, huh? All we're missing is the judge. Yeah, so Blaze DeBest is an idiot, right? He has a different flavor of pride than his son. Sebastian is prideful in his conceited way. He thinks he's infallible and the best automatically. And, Blaze is so prideful that he thinks he's goddamn invincible. All that power has gone to his head, and his ego is the size of a mountain. He's really just giving Edgeworth all the ammunition and all the chances. Is this some kind of game to him? It's like, what's going on here? Maybe he has some sort of dire trump card up his sleeve. That'd be awful.
Miss Crane went to the black market auction as a customer. The red raincoat was one of the items up for auction. We believe that she left her seat after winning the bid for it. The only exit from the storeroom is the hatch that leads to the viewing platform. Miss Crane went out to the viewing platform, where she was attacked by Kay Faraday. That was how she met her end, and that concludes my summary of the case.
The red raincoat was up for auction. Is that a fact?
It is quite likely. The red raincoat had been a piece of evidence.
Oh, wow, it was.
In the assassination attempt on the president of Genfa, as you well know. Originally, it should have been stored in an appropriate place. But when I asked about it, I learned that it went missing.
I wonder if it was stored in the clothes case. The one with the blood in it that Alada Hart attempted to hide in. Open, rather. And it somehow made its way to the black market auction. Certainly a natural conclusion. My, well done, Courtney. Your explanation is as clear as ever.
I am much obliged. Prosecutor Edgeworth, will you concede defeat now?
Sorry, but I don't plan on it.
I see. I am relieved.
Relieved? What does she mean? Come to think of it, her reason for questioning me yesterday remains a mystery. Just what is she thinking? I think Justine Courtney has smelled a little something stinky in the PIC. I think she's clinging on to the faintest hope that there's something to uncover here. And I think she knows Edgeworth is the man to do it. But still, she's maintaining a lot of professionality and not letting anything slip. She is playing the role of the antagonist very well. And I feel like she's kind of wanting to root for Edgeworth. That's the vibe I'm getting. I do wonder where Franziska is. She was one of the investigators here. Why isn't she here to witness all this? Maybe she'll show up out of nowhere later. Well, interesting stuff. Yeah, I'm kind of still baffled at how stupid Blaze seems to me. Well, seriously, what is he doing? I don't know. I just don't know. Hopefully it's nothing too scary. Hopefully he really doesn't have some sort of trump card. That would be bad. I mean, he already gave us one. The raincoat, and that's what we got in this whole mess. We'll press all this tomorrow, but I think there's already a contradiction here. She said the only way out of the storeroom is the hatch. Well, that's not true. There's also the elevator, but that's a technicality. So we'll see. Maybe something else will come to light. In the meantime, I'm Zephyr the Jester. This has been more Ace Attorney Investigations 2. Thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll catch you next time. So until then, please take care.